Hi, my name is Jody. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, I talk about New Earth. I like to talk about New Earth. I like to help people navigate the transition from old Earth to New Earth. I feel like I have fairly good idea of what it's looking like and what's to come, and I like to help prepare. Plus the fact that I have had 2 quantum healing sessions where both of them took me to New Earth. And one of them took me to New Earth and I went through a class and I came back with a box, and that was what I was told. It was like I went over for a training session and then came back to old Earth to help teach people to get to New Earth. So that's what I'm doing here. So the first thing that I want to kind of put in your mind is right now, one of the reasons we are in so much turbulence, or that you may be in so much turbulence, for many reasons. It could be financial, it could be emotional, it could be breaking off from family and friends. That's all part of the transition from old to new. And it's kind of like playing tug of war, if you can imagine that. You've got both teams and one pulls, and this comes this way and the other one pulls, and then it goes this way. So it goes back and forth when you're playing tug of war. And that is a little bit like what is going on in the world right now. You've got a lot of people on old Earth that are resistant. They do not want to go to New Earth. They like it the way it is. They like the control. They like the safety, the security, even if it's miserable. They understand what that old Earth is like. There is a comfort in their discomfort. You know what to expect. New Earth, you don't know what to expect. Like I said, when I went to New Earth and I ended up on a star, I'm like, I could see old Earth in a distance and I could see it in the future. I couldn't see anything. And it's scary when you're in transition and you don't know what the future holds. One of the things that also happens is surrender. You have to surrender that the universe is going to take care of you, and you're going to have to let go of what your old ways. So anyway, I also want you to imagine like when all of the people in Europe were trying to get away from persecution, the religious overtones. They had decided that they were going to travel to what is now called the New World, or the USA. Can you imagine how scary that was, that you are leaving the comfort of your home and you are going to a place that you do not know what it's like? And then to boot, you're on this boat and you get in a storm and it's turbulent. People didn't always make it over here. And that is very similar to what it's like right now, the old Earth versus the new Earth. So I feel like I really started my journey from old to new in 2017. I have heard, and I don't have any way to prove this, I have heard that December of 2012 was literally when we made the jump or the shift or started the process. Don't know if that's true or not. If you do and you have a way to prove it, then let me know. So in 2017, what started me on my journey was I ended up losing a bunch of weight. I lost my father. My father left me some money that I was not prepared for. I had just spent 8 years bouncing from home to home, feeling very discombobulated and not having a home base. And I also met a man that kind of flipped my world upside down, which I call my divine masculine. I believe he was also here to help me awaken to this journey that I am on now. So there was a lot of stuff that hit me in 2017. And I can remember later on, this all kind of started in April-ish. And later in probably the end of the summer, the first of the fall, there were a couple of conversations that I had with 2 of my girlfriends. And I can remember sobbing on the phone so hard I couldn't even see straight, because I was so in unfamiliar territory. New body, new bank account, new man in my life, no parents whatsoever, and I did not know who I was. I mean, it was like my deprogramming at that point in time started happening. Partly because the man that I fell in love with was of a different race. That was not okay with my family. So I started unprogramming and deprogramming from the race stuff that I had been programmed with for my whole life. And there were just a lot of changes that were going on. So it took me, I'm going to say, a good 6 months to a year to start to feel like my old self or my new self, or at least not so turbulent with my emotions. I will say that there was a good year or two that I did do a lot of crying. My emotions were very up and down, and a lot of it had to do with the man that I met, and a lot of it had to do with I had certain plans with a business that I was doing, and I lost interest in that, and that scared the shit out of me because, you know, it's like my plans that I had up until that point in time suddenly changed, and it got yanked away from me, and I did not know what my future looked like. That's part of the resistance that you see from so many people these days is, again, the comfort in the old ways, you know, the programming in the old ways. So there's a lot of people fighting to keep the status quo. And then you've got people like me that are fighting to get things in a better place. So that's where a lot of that transition comes. You know, some of it is the emotions. Right now, a lot of it's, you know, people's bank accounts, losing family and friends that you maybe have had for a long time. I believe there are a lot of people that are grieving right now because the old way that we used to do things is gone. You know, we've been separated from friends and family because of the pandemic. We have lost friends and families from the pandemic. We have lost friends and families because we are no longer on the same page, and there's a very big divide. And that divide is literally old earth, new earth. I mean, if you don't understand where that divide comes from, that has a lot to do with it. It is people wanting to stay on old earth and the people like me trying to help, you know, get everybody over. So just know that the turbulence that you are feeling is going to go away eventually. You will get firmly planted on new earth. You will understand what is coming. You will understand the new financial system that is being put in place. You will understand all of the stuff that is working in our favor, that the light side has planned for us. You know, we've been in darkness for a long, long time, and we're getting out of that. You know, people are waking up and they're starting to understand that there is more to the world than what we were taught. There is more to our history than we were taught. You know, we're having to relearn everything. We're having to relearn that we have more power than we ever thought possible. We are having to relearn that everything we were taught is possibly false. And it's a brain, you know, it's a trippy for the brain to try to figure out what is real and what is not. So I just want to say, it's okay to have those feelings. They will calm down eventually. And if you have access to somebody that can do a quantum healing session that might help you see what New Earth looks like so it's not so scary, or if you can find someone that does past life readings that can help you deal with some of the programming, the reason that you think the way you do, perhaps it came from a past life. You know, there's so many things that make us who we are now. There's the reprogramming of all the food that we eat. There's just a lot of reprogramming, and I'm going to miss a lot of this on here because I don't write notes down and I just kind of ramble, and I know that bugs people, but I don't know how to edit. And so anyway, I would love to hear your thoughts on the transition. Are you in the middle of that turbulent time right now? do you not know what I'm talking about? Or have you already made it to the other side and you feel like you are on new earth? You can see it, you can feel it, you can taste it. You feel comfortable that we're going to a better place. I am curious what you think and where you feel like you are. Just know it's not going to be like that forever. Like I said, when people came from the old world to the new world, it was very turbulent, and it was probably really, really scary to be on that ship. And that's kind of where a lot of people are. They're on that ship. They don't know where they're going. They don't know what's happening, and they're just hanging on for dear life. So if you can, hang on a little bit longer. It's going to be okay. It will smooth out eventually. And when you land, and when you get your land legs or whatever, sea legs or whatever you call those, when those get in place and you grow some roots into new earth, it's going to get a lot more comfortable. Then you may be one of the ones that are teaching people about new earth. You know, you could be the ones teaching about the financial system or the food or whatever it is that you are interested in, if that is your job. So comments, please. If you got anything to say, I want to hear it. And have a great day. Bye.